Hello everybody and welcome back. Today we are here in none other than Branson, Missouri. Getting ready to head to what might be my favorite non-Disney and non-Universal theme park. Doesn't quite compare to the big boys, but other than that, probably the best I've ever been to. So before we head there, a little bit of an interesting story as to why we're going today, not yesterday. A few things that happened, some things got switched up, but definitely better overall. So let's get headed on over to Silver Dollar City. But of course, before we get started, let's roll that intro. So yesterday was actually when we were planning on going to Silver Dollar City, and to start off the day, I decided I was not going to vlog because I felt miserable. As mentioned in the last video, I was pretty sick and just didn't want to deal with having to try to talk. Side note, this resort is quite beautiful. Great view down to the woods here. But yeah, I decided I was not going to vlog. I just wanted to enjoy what I could of the trip while being so sick. But anyways, we got there and it decided it was going to rain all day long. And funny thing about Silver Dollar City is when there's a thunderstorm, there's only one ride in the park that can stay open, and that's Fire in the Hole, because that's the only completely indoor ride. So every single ride in the park shuts down other than Fire in the Hole. So we rode Fire in the Hole and then decided to leave. Luckily, Silver Dollar City has a great rain check policy, so they were able to get us tickets to come back today. And that way I feel a little bit better today. I can vlog and we can enjoy everything, hopefully without the rain. So now we just have a quick little about 10-minute drive. Lecter's going to take us over there all on her own, I'm sure. Full self-driving has been absolutely incredible. Also super great efficiency here in Branson with all the hills. First stop today is going to be Grand Country for a good old breakfast buffet. Actually a decent little kids resort here. We've stayed here once, maybe twice or so. They got a nice indoor water park, music hall, then a big arcade and mini golf and all that stuff. So yesterday we actually ate at the breakfast buffet at Silver Dollar City, which I've been there a few times, highly recommend. I was sat at a table with my mom and all the rest of the kids, and apparently it was a trick table, and it rises over time throughout your meal. And I sat down a little later than everybody else, so when I sat down I was already getting pretty high up, and I just thought, wow, you know, this table's pretty high, that's kind of odd. And I was like, oh well, just how the table is. And then as we're eating our meal, I was like, man, this table's really high. None of us noticed that the table was rising while we were dining there, so that was pretty funny. Then the waiter comes over and does a whole little skit thing to help you like lower the table down. That was really cool. That's something that I think would work well at like Whispering Canyon over at Wilderness Lodge at Disney World or somewhere like that. But that was awesome. They have another trick table there that spins while you eat. So little things like that. That's awesome. Looks like Elena and Mason get the VIP seats for the tram ride on into the park. All right, and after that quick little breakfast, we are here in the heart of the Ozarks. Back at Silver Dollar City for round 2 today. Frigid 51 degrees this morning. You don't get that down at Disney World, so a little bit different to get used to, but we got our tickets, so let's get in here. Super easy getting inside there. They have the same security screening system that they use down at Disney World, so not everybody with the bag has to be checked, only if you get flagged. So it really speeds up the entry process. I wish that Disneyland would adopt that same system. Disneyland still using the ancient, handbag search for everybody is a little ridiculous in my opinion. So even Silver Dollar City here out in the boonies doing better than Disneyland over in California. This morning I think we're gonna head to the left first, over towards Wildfire, Powder Keg, Outlaw Run, see what the crowds are like over there. We do have that Trailblazer Pass as I mentioned, so shouldn't be too bad with the lines, but we're gonna try to knock a few out before we have to use the pass. Just so you know, with the Trailblazer Pass, how that works, that is of course their equivalent to Lightning Lane. However, pricing wise, it is much more in line with like Universal's Express Pass, so well over $100 for that Trailblazer Pass. And how that works is you can use that pass up to 8 times on any attraction that it is valid at. You can use it 8 times on Outlaw Run, for example, or you can use it once on Outlaw Run, once on Powder Keg, once on Wildfire, whatever. There are a few exceptions, like Fire in the Hole, you can only use it once there, just because it's so popular and new after getting restored. Looks like we do have a rope up here. We're going to be held up here for rope drop. So we got about 20 minutes until park open. So we're just going to hang out here and see what's going on. Wasn't really planning on rope dropping today, but, we made it around a little bit early and accidentally decided to rope drop. But we're just going to kind of hang around here and see if we can find anything cool.
Except they have a lot more bushes.
Lots of awesome booths out here with a bunch of handmade art and crafts and such. Right here at the entrance to Silver Dollar City. definitely makes it pretty unique compared to any of the other theme parks. Oh, there's a horse here. Where'd you come from? I didn't even see that. Looks like maybe they do rides or something around here in the circle. Not exactly sure. This is definitely a very unique theme park in terms of how it operates and everything like that, but it's quite beautiful.
I've heard people tell how he would like to be.
And I do apologize. I know I probably still sound a little bit rough, and I'm definitely showing my face less, but I'm certainly still recovering from a pretty rough cold, so that's why I sound a little stuffed up, because I am. There's squirrels everywhere through this park. This one's not as crazy, but there were some that had some big old tails on them. All right, after a beautiful singing of the national anthem that they did up there on the stage, we have been let in. Always gotta love starting the day with the anthem or the Pledge of Allegiance or something like that. Disney does it, of course. I'm sure Universal does it, but I don't think I've ever seen that. But I'm sure this is obvious, but we will not be filming on most of the rides today. Most of them are big coasters that I cannot take my phone on. So don't expect to have a lot of on-ride POVs. If we do any smaller rides that I can, certainly. But first up is going to be Wildfire, and definitely no filming on Wildfire. And here we are, Wildfire and American Plunge. American Plunge is down for the season, but that's okay, because like I said, it's like 50 degrees outside, so I will not be missing the water rides today. All right, just made it off Wildfire. Immediate reaction, solid coaster. I mean, nothing like extraordinary, but good for what it is. Not very jerky, not rough at all, so pretty solid. I'll be honest, after you've ridden things like Velocicoaster and Stardust Racers and Iron Gwazi, some of these coasters just can't stack up to that level of thrill. There's certainly some that are better at theming. Guardians, of course, takes the cake for theming. For scenery, roller coasters like this and Outlaw Run are beautiful going through the woods there, as well as what's the one at Fiesta Texas? Iron Rattler. Iron Rattler is great when it goes inside that cliffside. You know, every coaster has its own thing, whether it's theming, whether it's thrills, whether it's the height, whether it's the surrounding area, all of that. They each have their own thing that makes them unique. Up next, we're just heading right next door over to Powder Keg. We can hear that thing screaming from clear over by Wildfire. That launch is pretty loud. Not sure what exactly gives it that scream that it has. You know, Velocicoaster doesn't have that, Stardust doesn't have it. Of course, not the same manufacturer, I don't think. I'll figure out for certain, but pretty sure it's not the same ride maker. Ride number 2 of the day, Powder Keg. Launch coaster, of course. Gotta love the launches. Okay, Powder Keg, also incredible. Loved that. Faster launch than I anticipated, for sure. Next up is going to be Outlaw Run, one of the few coasters here that I have ridden. Outlaw Run was actually my first ever coaster with an inversion, so it was quite the one to do there. But it's a great coaster. I cannot wait to ride it again. I think that we're heading out this way and then to the left. Outlaw Run up next. I don't know how I feel about those weird little, like the writing on the ground thing. Like it just looks like chalk. I don't know. It's different, I guess. Doesn't hurt anything, but it seems kind of a little tacky in my opinion, maybe. You know, I was really wanting to ride Mystic River Falls just because it's still new to me. This wasn't here last time I came, but it is so cold outside. I don't know if I could do it. I mean, you have that huge drop. It's kind of covered by the trees here. There you can see a little bit of it through the top. It's just, I don't know. It's so cool, but it's so cold at the same time. I don't think I can do it. Just got off Outlaw Run here. Looks like the little ones are having a good time on the high-low silos here. I think Mom's gonna go do the big barn swing. Those aren't my thing. I'll stick to coasters. Here come Mom and Elena and Colton on the giant barn swing. This thing gets pretty high up there. Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, I'll pass on that. They can enjoy that on their own. See if we can catch one of the Mystic River rafts coming by here. Still look nice and fresh. Looks like brand new paint. You can see the tower here. The counterweight's going up and down as a raft heads up to the top. That's crazy how big of a drop this has for a raft ride. Beautiful landscape all throughout here though. I'm sure there's lots of nice scenery on the ride as well. Some more great live entertainment as we pass through back up to the front side. Always great to see. Alright, I think we're going to take a break from coasters for a bit. Do Flooded Mine here. It says it's posted 5. Looks longer than that in my opinion, but I don't know what the inside's like, so we'll find out. About a 10-minute wait and we made it to the loading dock here. Nice little loading bay, just a few random little props up on the walls and stuff. All of the queues and loading areas here have been incredible. Lots of detail, especially Wildfire. Wildfire was really nice over by the loading dock, and then they had a big fire tank, or like a water tank for putting out fires there in the queue. Looks like you get guns on this ride. I'm not really sure what exactly is happening, but I see people with guns, so hopefully that's part of the ride. Alright, let's see how this goes. Got me a nice little revolver here, and I don't know what I'm doing with it yet, but we'll find out.
good though. This one's don't mess with the
Future Ethan here. So I actually had about 2 more minutes of footage that was going to go in right here, talking about our ride on Thunderation and my first ever ride on Time Traveler. However, for whatever reason, they have no audio. Don't know what happened to them, don't know why. The audio is just gone. So just wanted to talk about both Thunderation and Time Traveler. Thunderation, not a good experience. I don't remember it being this bad. Super jerky, super bumpy, very painful, not a pleasant ride in any way, shape, or form. Skip Thunderation. Time Traveler, that was incredible. So beautiful, the views around there down in the valley. Having the spinning dynamic like Guardians, but free spinning is really cool. Guardians is still better by a long shot. The controlled spinning is a lot cooler and more impressive in my opinion. But 2 launches, some corkscrews and stuff like that, incredible. Time Traveler was great, exceeded my expectations. Overall, Silver Dollar City, great experience. The team members there, I'm not sure what they call them, but the workers there were very nice, very helpful with everything. A little bit weird in some cases, like there was a lot of workers who didn't have name tags, and that threw me off. It was very hard to tell that they were actually employees because they didn't have any name tags or anything to signify that they worked there. So that was a bit interesting, and a few other smaller things, but not anything that we need to get into detail about. But overall, had a great time. Just wanted to throw this in here real quick since that audio went missing and it felt like a weird gap in the video. So back to Ethan and Silver Dollar City to round out the video. Well, I think that is about it for today here at Silver Dollar City. I know it's really short and you didn't get to see a whole lot, but it's another case of I'm here with a big crowd. We got 10 people and trying to wrangle everybody, get everybody on the rides and stuff, and make it in time for food and all that, while also vlogging is a very big chore. So maybe in the future we can come here, spend some more time, look at all the smaller things, and just enjoy the vlog and focus on that. But for today, that is going to be it. We're going to go up here to the top, main gift shop and stuff, see if there's anything up there that catches my attention. I'll let you know if I pick anything up. Alright, well, I didn't find anything from the gift shop. Sorry, it's super bright here. But I didn't find anything that I needed in the gift shop, so we are headed out for the day. Headed back home to Ponca today, actually. I got to work tomorrow, so long drive home and then back to work in the morning. But like I said, I apologize. I know that was really short. We didn't get to show much, but thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.